Hello everyone and welcome to the show. Today we are looking at a game called Trial by Viking. This is a game by Last Life Games. You can pick it up now on Steam. It's normally $15, but it's 10% off for probably the first week here, so you can pick it up for $13.49 if you're interested in it. This appears to be their first game, and it's an indie game that's on Steam, launched on March 29th. And it's an action platformer, very much. You play as a Viking that gets picked up by Odin to ascend into Valhalla, basically, and defeat Loki, who's, putting evil everywhere. Pretty standard Norse mythology stuff here. It's pretty good. The platforming's not quite as tight as I'd like to see. The level design is pretty good. There's a lot of good puzzles and levels and stuff like that. It's pretty challenging. Enemies are kind of dumb, but they get the job done. And overall, I enjoy the game. I wish it was a little bit tighter of a package. I'm using a controller right now. It's lists as partial controller support on the Steam store, and it gets the job done. There's a couple of things that I wish it did better. Let's take a look at the options real quick here. Now, there is a launch window that opens up that allows you to choose your resolution and your graphics settings. If you're having some frame rate issues, you can drop it down on some presets, but there isn't a whole lot of graphical options. Here you have music, sound effects, your stick dead zone. So normally when I play games on a gamepad, I actually like to invert up and down, but this actually inverted it within the menus as well, which is kind of silly. But like I said, partial controller support, so don't expect full controller support here. But it just feels like a game that should be played on a controller, so that's why I'm using it. But you can use keyboard and mouse, obviously. Show level timer, that's going to show your level timer. And yeah, I'm going to... Let's continue, and maybe I'll do a level select, bring you to the beginning. So basically, your job is to navigate these levels and collect sunstones. Sunstones are used as your currency, but there's also a story element to it. So here's Odin. He's going to talk to me for a minute. It's all text. This place is constructed of space and time, created by Loki in one of the far corners of the cosmos. My power is limited here, but the more sunstones you collect, the greater my influence will grow. I have placed an exit point on the other side of this construct. Get there with as many sunstones as you can. So that's the goal of every mission, every level, basically. And maybe we're not in Valhalla, maybe we're just in some other realm where Loki's in control. I'm sorry if the story details aren't exact. So you see we're jumping. I've got an axe. I can throw my axe. You'll find that that's actually pretty useful. I actually hit an enemy over there. We'll take out this enemy. And he's dead. That's pretty much the extent of the combat. You do get special weapons, and I have this dash ability, which is double tapping on the analog stick. So if I double tap forward, I do this dash. I wish it didn't do that. I can also hit the right bumper to do it. I wish it was just right bumper, because sometimes I'm in a platforming sequence and I accidentally hit twice forward on the stick and I dash forward and I die. So I wish that there was an option there to turn that off. I'm sure some people would enjoy it, having easy access to it. Let's get an invincibility potion here. Take out this dragon thing, this werewolf. I think I screwed that up. I gotta get up on those wheels, but we'll head down here first. So like I said, you can see I actually have all 30 sunstones in this zone. Activating that switch turned on that cyclone thing, so I'm going to be able to get up on that platform and get that key. This is pretty much what I've seen, the extent of the puzzles, you flip a switch and it activates something. I'll show you a later level that part of that got a little frustrating. I'll take a look at that a little bit later though. So I'll swoop up here, grab the key. Some levels you have to get the key in order to unlock the exit. Some you have to defeat an enemy. And that's all I've seen so far. Oop, those wheel things are tough. They send you flying. And, man, I wish the platforming was a little bit better. It's very floaty. Like, I don't feel like I have a whole lot of precision over my movements. I find myself sliding off of platforms often. Combat's okay. It's responsive, at least. There isn't a whole lot of it, but, I wish the platform was a little bit better. Oh, so I got through that. That was the first level I got through without taking damage. Cool. And then at the end of each level, you're shown, your statistics. I've got 30 out of 30 sunstones. My time, I did not beat my best time. And I got a 100%. Oh, it is a new best time. I don't know. I'm not really sure what was going on there. So let's check out the level I wanted to show you. I think it was this one. No, this was the first one. Okay, so you pick up sunstones, and you have to do that in story, according to the story, but you also use them as your currency. So you'll see here that, and this is kind of another spot where the gamepad implementation kind of breaks. Here's a dagger, it costs 75 sunstones. Here's a better axe that costs 75. And, there's a whole bunch of axes, and all sorts of items here that you can actually, collect. This looks like some sort of grappling hook. I've got the boomerang right now, which is pretty cool. And then there's passive abilities, like I got boots. There's this feather ring which basically allows you to double jump. I wish that had been kind of like a already built-in kind of thing. But let's take a look at this level, because there's a couple of cool things in here. I don't want to show you too much because, exploring this yourself is really, figuring out these mechanics and solving the levels is really what the game's all about. Whoops. See what I'm talking about? You kind of just slide around, and I don't really like it. And I really like platformers too, but I like tight platforming. There's spikes here. There was a treasure chest the first time I went through here, so you can't go back and get sunstones. It kind of would break the progression, being able to buy all those things before you're supposed to. So revisiting some of these, you're really just going back for the better time. So we'll pick up a cool thing over here. Tiny potion. Now I'm tiny, and I can activate that. I can activate it again. This dude's back. I thought that was pretty cool. So one thing that I did not like was this sequence here where I kept hitting this. You have to get this key. But you have to stand on that platform in order to get on that floating platform. And I kept hitting the switch. There isn't a button, it just automatically hits when you walk over it. And it was getting real frustrating because I kept hitting it, it kept doing that, I kept missing my jump. And I don't know, it's little things like that that kind of bothered me here. These fucking things. I'll let these things fall, and we'll walk under them. I could dodge under them. We'll play it safe here. Yeah, I still don't know how to get those other things in that level. There's a electric field that's preventing me, and then there's a secret door that I wasn't able to open. Before we finish up here, this is, not a whole lot to show here. There's all these levels, 10 in this one, and then as far as I can tell, there's quite a lot of content here, which I can't complain about that's for sure. For $15, this is a pretty good deal in terms of just pure content. Like I said, it's a little rough around the edges with the menus, and the platforming I feel could be a little bit tighter, but you know, you kind of getting what you pay for here. So this is the first boss battle, which I actually had a tough time figuring it out, but once you get the pattern down, it's actually pretty easy. Let's see how good I do. I'll probably suck because I'm trying to talk. So this guy comes running at you, swings his axe. Ah, he got me. I'm probably not going to do too good here because I'm talking. This is pretty much what I did. He runs at you. I threw some axes. The boomerang does quite a bit of damage. Jump over him. Oh, he's running at me. Ah! He's gonna get me. Well, maybe not. Where's he going? Alright, so that was pretty much it. That was the first boss fight. I'm sure it gets more challenging as the game progresses. But, you know, that was pretty basic. And, you know, as basic as it was still pretty challenging. Maybe we'll get a little story bit here. Yep. We'll finish it off with this. Welcome to the floating hall. Whatever. Valis Galf? Sure. From here, I can place us at any point in the cosmos. And this is my trusted advisor, Mimir. Mimir's not a big talker. You'll have to excuse him. The Jontar are not particularly fond of humans. I see. I don't much care for them myself. Oh, Jesus. They tend to cheat at dice, and they'll steal your ale when you aren't looking. Well, I find them charming. We have greater things we need to discuss, however. My blood brother Loki has unleashed a terrible force. It has granted him the magic to create worlds and even life. But it has poisoned his mind as well. Your talents will be needed if we hope to stop him. My talents? Unless drinking loudly and singing poorly counts, I'm not sure what you mean. You are modest for a Viking. Come, I have something to show you. I'll go over here. Wish I could float. I kind of do float. This is the mirror of whatever, man. With it, we can see into many past. With those kinds of words, I would have liked some voiceover, you know, so I know how I'm pronouncing them correctly. Show him. Magic.
Looking into the light, I have a vision. Runes deep within the roots of Yggdrasil taught Odin.
There is some voiceover, actually.
And a dark stone.
Weird.
Since before
I wonder why they didn't just do all of it.
their energy has balanced the scales of chaos and order. Odin brought them to Asgard to be studied, but not interfered with.
Reminds me when I was playing Child of Light and all of the text rhymed.
However,
And I thought it would have been awesome if they had actually spoken it, because it would have sounded so amazing. Because they went through all this work of rhyming the text. Loki shatters the sunstone, hiding the pieces throughout the realms. He has taken the Darkstone for his own ends as well. He is now using its power to manifest the worst fears of gods and man, claiming it retribution. We cannot stop him while he wields such magic, but there is a way to weaken him. Ooh, that's weaken M. We must reforge sunstone. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Unfortunately, the scattered pieces are protected by Loki's magic, and it seems that only humans are immune to the spell. Of course.
This is how I found myself in a clash between gods.
So that's the overall story. It's really just a way to get you through these levels, which I think the levels are pretty great. Some of them seem to be really building on mechanics, and some of them are really tough. They may be a little bit... their toughness may be a little bit exasperated by the... I don't think it's great controls. I wish they were tighter. For a platformer, you really want precision that this, for me, doesn't really give me. And the fact that that dash is tied to double tapping the analog stick, I'm not really a big fan of. I wish that was an option to turn off. But I can't deny that there's some cool stuff here. There's a lot of content, and there's a pretty robust upgrade system. And I like the idea of collecting those sunstones in order to give you more currency. It inspires you to go back to levels that maybe you weren't able to figure out earlier, to collect some more sunstones to get a few more to get that special upgrade you're looking for. From what I've seen, the upgraded weapons do quite a bit. That boomerang was nice, and I'm sure upgrading your axes and stuff, just gives you extra stopping power. Any design was, it could be better. It was pretty much designed seemingly to just be an obstacle in your way. Pick it up if it looks like something you're interested in. If you're looking for a quick platformer to go through with some Viking themes to it, some Norse mythology, you could do worse, that's for sure. I'm gonna keep playing this a little bit more here, see if it opens up or anything like that, and if it does, I'll update this, or I'll make a new video or something like that if something dramatic happens. But right now, this seems like what it's going for, and take it or leave it. That's it. Thanks, guys.